governments being used as milking cows, which in turn, of course, how government doesn't earn any money in any place. all the money which is milked out of government, how does it come about? In three ways only. This government either tax people, so extort money from people, or that government borrows money, which is again nothing else than future taxation for those poor peoples who are suffering under those governments. So basically, whatever government borrow, how will it be repaid? Of course, most will never be repaid, but that's another story. But in general, as an idea, how is it being repaid? Only by taxation in the future. Taxation of the kids and grandkids of those people who are living here. Extortion from them. Today's government is signing it into reality that the next governments will have to extort more to repay these things. And so that these were two, yes, taxation, borrowing, which is basically future taxation, and the third thing, how governments get money, that's the most evil of all, money printing, causing inflation by printing money. Like today's technology, and basically any technology, results in deflation. The money would be getting more and more valuable by each year, and all the services and goods would be getting more cheap by each year, unless it happens what happens everywhere, that government is taking advantage of this phenomena and printing more money. And well, in whose pockets this money is going, that's a separate story. It's not people, definitely, with few and very small exceptions, tiny. So that's another story again. But basically, when you see that inflation is, for example, 2%, 3% in a year, it's not just 2 or 3% in a year. If they wouldn't be printing more money and debasing the currency, it would be not zero, it would be less than zero. Every year the money would get more valuable because markets are producing goods more efficiently each year. And that's just the result of free markets. Things get more effective, more quick, more cheap, more affordable, better. People are working on that and getting paid for that, and things get better and efficient, more efficient. So in real life, it should be that the prices go down. And I mean every price, including housing prices. There should be no difference in that. The only reason why housing prices come up is not because it became more difficult to build or more expensive. No, it's not true. It's only because the more money is being printed. And that's the secret thief, which comes while you sleep and which steals while you don't know. You have the same $5 in the pocket, but these $5 suddenly can buy less in the next day, after a few more dollars have been printed during that night by somebody and put in somebody's pocket, which is not your pocket. These are the things which are not the best things, probably, to think and talk about. But there are important reasons to know about these things, because then you can vote against these things. And by voting, I don't mean electing different government. No matter which government you elect, it will cause problems anyway. Of course, the easier it is to change governments, the less problems they manage to cause. That's why democracies, the real free democracies, are better than autocracies. But nevertheless, it's the same way. No government will ever be able to contract itself. It will always only expand as long as it's allowed to expand even more and more. But by voting, I mean you can vote with your feet. Well, in two ways actually. One way is to move to a different country. That's one, voting with your feet. But another, I mean voting with your feet in terms of what money you use. The less you use fiat money, the government printed money, the evil and war causing money, and the more you use Bitcoin, which nobody can debase, the more you have been voting for a better world and against these legal crimes. Money printing is legally allowed, but it is crime by any sensible, conscious judgment. How do I say it? So yeah, I don't think we should protest, we just should switch to Bitcoin as fast and as much as it is practicable in each of our lives. And by that we will better this world, and we will diminish the levers which governments has for making evil, for making wars, because they need to support their fake fiat money, and restricting people and all the other evils which comes from governments. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that governments are not doing good things as well. They do good things, of course, but it is how much? 2% of all the things which they do. It is nothing if you compare it to all the killed and tortured people which are killed and tortured by governments, and it is nothing compared to all the theft which is done by printing money and causing inflation and all the other things which they do, unfortunately. Yeah guys, I don't know, should I be talking about these things? It kind of went out because I was starting to talk about these COVID things when I saw the shopping center. I kind of feel that it might be useful for some of you. That's why I kept talking and didn't stop. But yeah, maybe for some of you it's not interesting, and I can also perfectly accept that for some of you, you will not agree with me and you will have your own diametrically opposite opinion, and that's fine too. I don't try to take away your opinion, I just shared my own. Yeah friends, let's keep exploring this beautiful city.